Our next speaker is Dr. Catherine Ferrier from the Physicians Alliance Against Euthanasia.
Good morning.
I have to really strain and I get about 8 seconds and I drop it for another 6 seconds.
Sorry, I'm not like Apollo. I'm Catherine Ferrier. I'm the president of the Physicians Alliance Against Euthanasia, the Collectif des médecins contre l'euthanasie, which was founded in Quebec in 2012. As of today, we're 766 doctors and growing. We work in geriatrics. We have doctors working in palliative care, in psychiatry and family medicine, each with their own experience of their patients. And we're all worried about our patients. There have always been people who wanted to die. In medicine, we see them, we call them suicidal patients. And our job has always been to keep them alive and to help them to get over their desire for death. And most get over it, and they're glad that they're alive. Now in Quebec, and soon in the rest of Canada, doctors are killing some suicidal patients instead of helping them to live. Just a few months ago, our college in Quebec had to send out a notice reminding doctors that if somebody arrived in the emergency room after a suicide attempt, they had to try to resuscitate them. That was always something that was very obvious to everybody, but it's not obvious anymore because in Quebec the law says if someone wants to die, you have to let them and even help them. There's no difference between someone who's suicidal because they're terminally ill or in pain and anybody else who's suicidal for any other reason. We've been told that Canada has no other choice but to legalize euthanasia, that either we pass this bill or the Carter decision will kick in. That is not true. The government could have recriminalized euthanasia and assisted suicide by restating the purpose of the criminal code. They chose not to do that. We're also told that the majority of Canadians want euthanasia. This is false. Most people don't even know what the debate is about. They think it's about stopping treatment or about comfort care. So what Canadians really want is to not suffer more than they can bear, to not be alone with their suffering, to be treated with respect, to have access to the health care they need, including palliative care, and to remain in their homes as long as possible when they get older or have a disability. To facilitate access to death while remaining unable to provide for all of these needs is irresponsible and is unworthy of a progressive and prosperous country like ours. There's now little doubt that euthanasia will soon be legal in the whole country, despite the warnings from other countries, despite the dangers, despite the fact that people will be driven to request it out of fear, loneliness, guilt, coercion. No safeguards can prevent that, and certainly not the safeguards that are being proposed in this bill. I now would like to speak especially to my medical colleagues. We're facing a huge challenge. We can either give in, say yes to the people who want to die, and if we don't have the stomach to do it ourselves, refer them to someone else, or we can care for them, seriously, going beyond what's generally required of us, listening more carefully, seeking creative solutions to their suffering. Euthanasia is cheap. And maybe it's not easy right now because we're not used to it yet, but it'll be easy one day for the people who start doing it now. So I say to my colleagues, don't let ever get used to it. History will judge us. A generation will come that looks back at ours with horror and disbelief if we adopt this so-called solution to suffering. All the doctors who are horrified by what's happening, we have to stand together, support each other, share our expertise for the benefit of our patients. fight against any obligation to kill patients or to refer them. But let's not be afraid of being there for our patients, of getting our hands dirty, dealing with difficult cases. Keep on caring for people till the end. Call on our colleagues, help each other if we don't have the expertise or the resources that our patients need. And once we've done everything we can, if our patient still says, "Doctor, I want to be killed," then, and only then, we should say, "I'm sorry, that's not what I do. I'll do everything in my power for you short of that, but for that, you'll have to find someone else." There are many doctors, both within and without my organization, who believe as I do. Some are part of other organizations that have taken a stand against this law and in favor of patients. Probably many are alone among their colleagues, or they think they're alone among their colleagues because they don't know what other people think. I encourage all doctors to seek out colleagues who, like you, don't think that this is a good way to take. Support each other in caring for patients right to the end. Contact us, contact the Coalition for Healthcare and Conscience, contact Canadian Physicians for Life. Find people who you can work together with to keep on caring for patients in spite of what the law does. And there are more of us than you think. Thank you.